Alright, so yesterday, the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja sentenced Mr. Joseph Nwachukwu, the husband to the late gospel singer Mrs. Osinachi Nwachukwu, to death by hanging over domestic violence that resulted in the late gospel singer's death. And a lot of people are saying it is justice served. It will serve as deterrent to other men out there that delight in beating their wives. And I am here to lend my voice on the issue, and as well this video will serve as deterrent to other married women out there and those ones intending for marriage. Okay, so stay with me and understand very importantly that the essence of this video is not to encourage domestic violence. It's not to encourage any man to lay his hand on his wife. Okay, now talking about marriage, in this part of the world, it is always a man that approaches a lady for a relationship that ends to marriage. And I want to submit to you without missing words that there has never been a man that who go to a lady with bad and evil intention for marriage. There's never been one. So what is the problem? What happened afterward? Alright, so I said on this platform, on my platform, I made a video sometime last year, that there's never been a madman out there who would call his wife stupid and the wife will reply, honey, I am sorry, or not say a word, that the next thing is the man will go ahead hitting the woman. Never. There's never been one. If there is a situation like that, a case of that kind within your vicinity, then feel free to share your experience with us under the comment section of these posts. Okay, so what usually happens? The bitter truth remains that we are living a hypocritical lifestyle that undermines the provisions of the Holy Scriptures. We are only holy in the church. We are angels in the church, but demons at home, where the church even started. Okay? Because if you read the Bible very well, you discover that the church starts from the home. If you go to church on Sundays, these women singing in the church, you feel the presence of God. But when you go back at home, it's something quite different. It's something different. Alright? So I am here to tell you that if we have been applying the principles of marriage as enshrined in the Holy Bible, the society would have been a better place to live in, and cases of such wouldn't have been happening. Okay? Let us go to the Holy Bible. I am reading from the book of 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 1. I will paraphrase and read to verse 7. And I'm using the Good News translation. Let's go there. 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 1. The scripture says, in the same way, you wives must, read that again, must submit yourselves to your husbands, so that if any of them do not believe God's words, your conduct will win them over to believe. It will not be necessary for you to say a word. It will not be necessary for you, woman, to say a word before he will believe. But your conduct, verse 2, because they will see how pure and reverent your conduct is. Let's jump to verse 5. For the devout women of the past, who place their hope in God. I don't know whom or who women of nowadays place their hope to. He said, who place their hope in God used to make themselves beautiful by submitting to their husbands. Verse 6 is even giving us an example. Say, Sarah was like that. She obeyed Abraham and called him her master. You now are her, you are now her daughters if you do good and not afraid of anything. So ladies out there, listen to me carefully. If you are the one that disobeys your husband, you talk back at him, then no matter the position you occupy in that four corners building called church, you are not living a Christ-like life. Okay? You are not living a life of a of Christianity that Jesus Christ brought about. Your Christianity is quite different one. Do you get now? So let's talk about verse 7. It says, verse 7, then, in the same way that a woman submits to the husband, you husbands must live with your wives with the proper understanding that they are more delicate than you. Treat them with respect, because they also will receive together with you God's gift of life. He said, do this so that nothing will interfere with your prayers. Note this very important, ladies and gentlemen. God, whenever God is addressing the home, the marriage, he first calls on the woman to do what? To submit. So scripturally, submission comes before love. Yes. See Ephesians chapter 5 verse 22 and Colossians 3 verse 18, and then the first Peter we just read, chapter 3 verse 1. Submission comes before what? Love. If you submit to any man, love will flow naturally. Okay? Even if the man is adamant, is not living up to your expectation, it's not you exchanging words with him that will make the situation better. It is by you remaining silent and on your knees that God will take charge and change the man to the perfect man that you want in life. Okay? So here is the question to those of you crucifying me on my post. Because I made a post this morning, that between the husband Joseph Wachiku and his wife, if there is anyone to go to heaven, is the husband. So people come there calling me a lot of names, the like of Tion Francis Oban and one nihilistic Kwasi. So, can you answer this question? Can you genuinely, from the bottom of your heart, love a woman that disobeys you? A woman that talks back at you? The woman that disregards you? Will you genuinely love this woman? Okay? So, based on this submission of mine, I now say, if there is any man to go to heaven there, it is the husband. Because if the late gospel singer was living these scriptures, I don't think a thing of that would have happened. Alright? I'm not judging how, but that is my observation in this case. So, the court sentencing this man to death. If there is any of them to go to heaven, the man will go first. Because from the time he is standing trials, he can make amends. Okay? He can make amends, and then just like the thief on the cross with Jesus, he can have the better chance to, to enter heaven than the late Osinachi. And I want to submit categorically that if that woman died because of non-submission to her husband, as the scriptures have said, there is no heaven anywhere, God's been anywhere. I remain myself, Kakaki Uyesu Christo. I share only the bitter truth, the truth that will make you free. You get? The truth that will actually make you free is that kind of truth that you don't want to hear. That is what I am interested in. And then again, I share those things that people hide under that are saying. I like to amplify the voice. Thanks for listening and remain ever blessed. My name remains Ngoku Joseph Ondakura Kakaki for Yesu Christ. One love.